A rototiller helps break up the soil for planting, and at the same time you can blend in nutrients for a well-cultivated garden.
I'll show you what you need to know to start a good planting bed, like evaluating your soil, adding amendments, and operating the tiller.
Now, if your existing bed is small, you can use a cultivator. I'm tilling this bed on bare ground, but if you're starting a new garden in turf, you should remove the sod first. For existing gardens, pull up any thick weeds. Smaller weeds can just be left alone. The tiller will chop them up. And make sure you call 811 before you dig, just to make sure you're clear of any utility lines. Now, before I start tilling, I'm going to evaluate the soil. If your soil is typically damp or has high clay content, you can add sand or gypsum. This helps break it up and allows moisture and nutrients to move through the soil. You can test the soil for other conditions with a test kit like this one that you can get at Lowe's. If the test gives a low pH reading, the soil is acidic. Add lime or wood ash to balance it. If the test result is a high pH reading, the soil is alkaline. To balance it, add some peat moss, composted leaves, or sawdust. After you've added the amendments, it's time to mix them into the soil. And that's where this comes in handy. A rototiller will blend the organic material deep into the soil where it's needed the most. As for a good time to till, wait a day or so after it rains so the dirt is somewhat dry. All right, first set the depth. Use a shallow setting to start on hard, compacted soil. For softer ground, you can start at a medium setting. Start the tiller following the manufacturer's directions. Engage the drive and slowly begin making parallel passes across the garden, but let the tiller do the work. Once you've gone across the entire garden, adjust the tiller to its deepest setting and start making passes perpendicular to the rows you've just made. Again, walk slowly and let the machine do the work. Keep tilling until the organic matter is thoroughly mixed into the soil, about 8 inches deep. Now you need to leave the soil alone for a few days, or if possible, several weeks. The materials will begin to decompose and enrich the soil with nutrients. After the soil has rested, it's time to till it again to help aerate it, to make sure the nutrients are well blended. This will also make planting easier. So set the tiller at a medium depth setting and make passes back and forth across the garden again. The ground should be easier to work with at this point. Then change to the deeper setting and make perpendicular passes across the soil. By now, your soil will be loose, fluffy, and finely textured. Perfect for planting. And to see other outdoor projects with step-by-step instructions, visit lowes.com/videos. A rototiller helps break up the soil for planting, and at the same time you can blend in nutrients for a well-cultivated garden.
I'll show you what you need to know to start a good planting bed, like evaluating your soil, adding amendments, and operating the tiller.
Now, if your existing bed is small, you can use a